Coming up tonight, ministers say that Singapore's vaccination rate is not high enough for us to confidently reopen. The first of Sinovac's vaccinations were administered at some private clinics here today. And Marina Bay Sands spotted in Tennessee, case of mistaken identity or a joke. Either way, we've spotted some creative responses. Hello and welcome to the Straits Times Newsnight. Good evening, I'm Dylan Ang. And if you've been looking forward to dining out with friends come Monday, I've got some bad news for you. The next stage of Singapore's reopening will not proceed as planned. Ministers announced today that the scope of the second stage of reopening under the Phase 3 heightened alert has been revised in light of the latest outbreaks. Finance Minister Lawrence Wong explains why.
Regrettably, we are unable to proceed with our second stage of reopening in light of the latest outbreaks and the big cluster that we have discovered in Bukit Merah. And now we have to adjust our plans. We do want to proceed with our reopening more confidently. But our vaccination rates currently are still not high enough to provide sufficient protection.
Health Minister Ong Ye Kung explained that while Singapore is vaccinating as quick as it can, vaccine supply is currently limited.
F&Bs and gyms cannot be opening and closing in tandem with infection cases and clusters. But for us to adopt that approach, our vaccination rates will have to be higher so that all of us are better protected.
Lots of announcements today, but here's what you can and can't do from next Monday in a nutshell. Can we dine out together if we're a family of 5? Well, that depends. You can if you're all from the same household and will have to book multiple tables of up to 2 diners each. That means one person would have to dine alone. If you're from different households, you won't be able to do so, even if you are split across multiple tables. Also, you'll notice that recorded music will not be allowed at establishments to mitigate the risk of patrons talking loudly. Can I resume attending my regular gym or yoga class? Well, yes, you can. Indoor activities that involve participants removing their masks at gyms and fitness studios can resume, but groups must be limited to 2 and classes capped at 30 people, including the instructor. And what about outdoor activities? Well, they can also continue in groups of up to 5 people, but the 30-person cap on class size remains. And finally, can I hold my wedding reception? Unfortunately not, as they remain banned at least until mid-July because of the risk it poses. Solemnizations can, however, proceed from Monday. And the first of the Sinovac COVID-19 vaccinations were administered at some private clinics earlier today, following approval from the authorities. The Straits Times visited the Rofi clinic, one such clinic that successfully gave out jabs earlier today. And here's what one customer had to say on his decision to sign up for Sinovac.
I prefer and have more faith in the old system of inactivated virus. I believe in the real world results, rather than the scientific trials and peer reviews and things like that. But if you look at the results from China, I think they have done better than any one of the other countries.
You can see the rest of the video on straitstimes.com. Now, moving on, a quick look at Singapore's COVID-19 situation. 16 new cases were confirmed today, with 14 in the community. 4 of these are unlinked and the remaining 10 linked to previous cases. 2 imported cases were also reported. Moving on, a woman who was caught on video making allegedly racist remarks in the MRT has been charged in court. 57-year-old Tan Bio Hyong was handed 2 charges over alleged acts prejudicial to the maintenance of harmony between different racial groups. She's also said to have a YouTube channel with videos alleging racism or harassment by people of other races. Both the channel and her employment as a property agent have been terminated. She will be remanded at the Institute of Mental Health, and her case has been adjourned to July 2nd. Let's take a look at what's been trending on social media today. Now, if you're watching from Singapore, you know at once that this is our iconic Marina Bay Sands. But an American Facebook user captioned this as a building in Tennessee. It's garnered tons of responses, with Singapore General Hospital even joining in. Cheekily captioning this picture, Big Ben, London. This is actually SGH's own Bowyer block, which clearly isn't half as famous or half as tall as the clock tower. If you're not caught up with the story, it first arose a few days ago when A. Sean posted the wrongly identified picture on Facebook. Netizens couldn't tell whether it was an honest mistake or not, but were quick to take the piss out of it, many posting uniquely Singapore images, but with captions easily recognizable to Americans. Some of the best ones we've seen: the Raffles Hotel being called the White House, Jewel's Rain Vortex being called Niagara Falls, and tissue paper packets called Michelin Restaurant Reservation. Love a Burger King Whopper, but perhaps you want to reduce how much meat you eat? Well, the all-new plant-based Whopper combines the best of both worlds. Burger King released a non-meat version of its iconic Whopper burger today, which features a flame-grilled plant-based patty from Netherlands-based faux meat producer, The Vegetarian Butcher. Served between toasted sesame buns, the burger is topped with sliced tomatoes, fresh lettuce, mayonnaise, ketchup, pickles, and sliced white onions. You can try it exclusively on Deliveroo, where there are 500 one-for-one meals available. Speaking of the Netherlands, they are the latest team to cement their spot in the round of 16 at the Euros, as they saw off Austria to top Group C with a game to spare. Now, it's the first time the Dutch are into the knockout stages at the European Championship since 2008. An early Memphis Depay penalty and a Denzel Dumfries goal gave the team a convincing 2-0 victory, leaving their opponents hopes to rest on the result of their last match against Ukraine. The Dutch will now host North Macedonia, safe in the knowledge that a place has been secured. And over in Group D, England would be looking to book their spot to join Italy, Belgium and the Netherlands by getting the better of neighbours Scotland at Wembley tonight. The Scots were stung by the sensational strike by Patrick Schick to lose 2-0 to the Czech Republic on Monday after a 23-year wait to reach a major finals. Another defeat would mean they would have to beat World Cup finalist Croatia heavily in the final game and have other results go their way to have any chance of reaching the knockout stage for the first time. The game's at 3 a.m. Singapore time. And since many of us are mostly staying home these days, how about an Italian adventure through Disney and Pixar's original feature film, Luca? Now, the film, which streams exclusively on Disney Plus starting today, showcases an incredible summer in the Italian seaside town of Porto Rosso, seen through the eyes of a sea monster named Luca. Now, Luca shares these adventures with his newfound best friend, but their fun is threatened by a deeply held secret. They are sea monsters from another world just below the water surface. And that wraps up the Straits Times Newsnight. Do visit straitstimes.com to see more news and videos, and subscribe to our YouTube channel by hitting the button below. Have a great weekend.